This is Nelson Ranch. So, the championship meeting, not champion, champions meeting, round two has begun, and apparently the previews for the new balance changes for the third anniversary has been released as well. So I want to talk a little bit about that. I also want to show you that finally my Tamama Cross is now at the very top in terms of friendliness. Just finally surpassed Oguri. Clearly Oguri has just run like ridiculous amounts, but that's because I use her as a parent and grandparent too much. But beyond that, I finally was able to get Tamama Cross to be top. This is through the various races. From what I understand, they're also going to release new clothes. Kopano Riki is going to get a new set of clothes. And I think Ayabe-san and others are going to get a new set of clothes. Hishi Miracle is going to hit rank 10 soon for me, so I'm looking forward to getting Hishi Miracle's regular clothes, private clothes. I don't know when we're going to see that, but it'd be nice if I can see it anytime soon. And I think Manhattan Cafe is going to get one too, so people are looking forward to that. I am looking forward to that as well, although my Manhattan Cafe is only at 9, so that's going to be a long ways ahead, fortunately. So for the balance changes, it's basically balance changes for chasers. And so characters like Narita Taishin is probably going to get a big boost. I think this character is going to get a nice boost. This steampunk version of Narita Taishin is going to get a big boost. They're fixing this apparently. So and they're also fixing the unique skill of certain characters, such as Hishi Akemono. This skill is going to be fixed. They're also fixing Special Week's skill. Where should you go? They're fixing Special Week swimsuit version. This skill has been pretty bad. Everybody's been talking about how bad this skill is ever since like the fixes went online. It says like, why did nobody change this? So this is going to be fixed. They're also going to fix Karen-chan's unique skill. Where should you go? Karen. There you are. Look at Karen. They're going to fix this skill too. I don't know how they're going to fix this skill. And they're also going to finally fix the Gold City skill. Everybody's been complaining about Gold City skills from the moment that it was released. Where are you, Gold City? I like City, so I'll be really happy if they fix this. This skill has been awful. I basically don't expect this skill to really be effective ever. It's just one of those kinds of skills. It's an acceleration skill, and I think it was basically designed to be like the reverse of Gold Ship skill. Gold Ship skill is that after the halfway point, it slowly over the course of a long period, it increases speed, which is actually quite good. And there's a reason why nobody's touched it. This one increases acceleration over a long period from the halfway point. And when you stop for a moment to think about it, there is no race in which from the halfway point increasing acceleration will help in any sense whatsoever. Acceleration really only helps at the very beginning of the race or at the end of the race when you enter the acceleration phase. Those are the only two moments in which it helps. Now, they do tremendous amount of work when it actually happens in those periods, but every time else, it's totally useless. This is the reason why winning tickets, this skill is totally useless, because this acceleration skill, basically does squat, because it usually happens in the middle of the race where the acceleration does buckets. So I'm actually glad that they're fixing the unique skills of these characters. I personally think that there's actually also more unique skills that need to be fixed. They're also fixing Cherry Scramble, I think. I forgot about that one. That was this one here. So I don't know how they're going to fix this one. But they need to fix these unique skills that are like really, really bad. Basically. I don't think this one's really, really bad, but this one probably needs to be fixed. Where are some other unique skills that need to be fixed? Off the top of my head, I don't use characters whose unique skills are really weak, so that's why this is like hit me off the top of my head. They fixed this one. I remember that. They fixed this one. This one used to be really bad. So they need to fix this. This is this is just awful. This one I know why it's bad. It's designed. It's bad on purpose. Like all the skills for Haru Urara is bad on purpose. She is a short distance runner, and all the skills are to increase her health recovery. And health recovery basically will only help in mid distance and long distance. And she doesn't run mid distance long. She only runs short and mile. And all three of these are totally useless skills. But that's okay because Harura never won a single race in her entire career, the actual horse. So that I'm actually okay with. Right? But yeah, like these characters have these skills that are really bad, and they need to be fixed, right? I think the skills that need to be fixed the most are these kinds of like skills that increase your vision. Like these vision skills are totally useless. I don't know how they're useful ever. The only time they're ever useful is if they're applied to these characters, and the green skill. Green skill, no, not that one. I tried to find the green skill. Oh, like that? No, that's not one either. That one doesn't have it. No. Green skills that increase like runner, leader, or betweener or chaser. Isn't there anybody who has those skills? Green skills. This is autumn, but those skills. Oh, here it is. Like this one. These skills, they increase your vision by 10 meters, I believe. It first increases by 5, but then when you double it up, it increases to 10. And the only time they're ever useful is if it is in conjunction with this skill, Happonirami. I mean, so it's like these vision skills are useless. And even when it's hitting this, some people say that it's really not that useful because it means that your range is increased, but the width is decreased. So it's like if the width is decreased, then what the hell? It doesn't really do anything that much in the long run anyway. So there you go. So I was hoping that they would actually fix the vision skills, and they're not touching that. So it's a bit of a disappointment. I guess what I really want to see is for the characters at the 3-star level to all be effective enough so that if you like the character, you can actually use them, and you can actually use them and expect to have a fighting chance. Like I do not expect to have a fighting chance when I play these characters. I just don't, right? I mean, like this skill is totally awful as well. So if you're like number 7. So first of all, you have to be in the race of champions meeting. You have to be in the 7th slot, so that's like a 1 out of 7 chance. And then in that 1 out of 7 chance, there's a 50% chance that this procs. So it's literally 1 out of 14% chance in which this procs. This is a gold skill, right? This is a gold skill in which it has a 1 out of 14 chance of procking. 1 out of 14 is like what? Like 7%? It's under 7%. It's like an under 7% chance that it procs. That is unacceptable. I'm sorry, right? If it's 1 out of 9, okay, fine. There's like 11% chance it procs, and at this level, because I think it adds like 20 to every stat. It's not that bad, but at this point in time, 20 to every stat's pretty damn weak. So Super Lucky 7 and Lucky 7, these are like bad skills. So like, why the heck would you want to use that? And then this skill is a skill that addresses your vision. Now when do the evolution version, this actually fixes it because it means that your distance, your speed is going to increase, right? So that's actually good, but this skill is still awful. So you have to be blocked, and if you're blocked, your speed is going to increase. But what's the freaking point if your speed is increased if you're blocked? If you're blocked, you're blocked. Your speed increase doesn't do squat, right? What it needs is it needs a side movement component plus a little bit of acceleration and speed. But it really needs a side movement component. So if you're blocked, you immediately get out of that block and then you can go forward. Now, if you do that, then I think this is now a useful skill. And that's really bad because Machikane Fukitaro is actually a horse that won against Silent Suzuka and that won a G1 race, the Kikkasho. I was just like, you can't do that to these characters. And you know, there are people who actually who like these, you know, the actual horses. So I feel really bad for people who actually like these characters and feel like they can't use them because, well, rightfully so, they feel that they suck. And yeah, it's bad. I mean, I'm not gonna lie about that. It's true, right? And I just happen to have won, you know, dirt mile with Haru Urara, so it's not impossible, but I think the odds are really against you. Yeah, I think the odds are really against you that you can, you know, do well with these kinds of characters that are basically like screwed, and that's just not cool. I'm sorry. All right, so that's like the 10 minutes that I want to rant about, if it's a rant, about the new upcoming changes. I was hoping that there'd be more, particularly more in the characters, but we shall see what happens in the future. All right. I mean, you know, when we actually get to the day, the 24th, so it's only 4 more days from now, we'll see for sure how the changes are going to happen. I think it's actually, by the way, I think it's actually a good thing that they're fixing chasers. People were saying that betweeners are really weak. And over the course of the last year, they have beefed up betweeners, and you know, a lot of people use betweeners now. I'm happy about that because my favorite running style is actually a betweener style. That's my favorite. So I had no complaints whatsoever with the beefed up betweeners. But now that the betweeners have been beefed up, they're going to work on chasers. So they're going to work on chasers. Leaders were reasonably strong, and over the time, you know, they fixed it. They didn't put that much effort into it, but they fixed here and there. So leaders are good. And so now, you know, runners, which can dominate the race simply because they are runners, because of the way the game is designed. Leaders and betweeners are viable, and so they're gonna make chasers viable. And if they can succeed in that, then at the very least, they'll have made a balance in that, because there are some characters that are just designed to run as chasers, and if the chasers are, you know, too weak, then that actually hurts them. Now, I will say this: the chaser's acceleration skill, Imminent Shadow, which you can get from characters like Narita Taishin and Mr. CB. Where are you, Mr. CB? Or Taishin, I don't care which, or Inari, right? This skill here, Imminent Shadow. There's one major weakness to Imminent Shadow, and that is that Imminent Shadow's duration is very, very short, and so that probably needs to be fixed eventually. So for the long distance races in particular, Chaser's got a big boost because the Chaser skill that you can get from characters like you know, Satono Diamond, Mugamuchu here, this skill happens right on the money, and it's actually pretty long. I forget exactly how many seconds, but it's over 1 second. It's like 1.5 or something like that, but it's a decent time. And because it's a decent time, if it's a long distance race, it's actually enough to, you know, push you over the edge and get to the, you know, top speed before with this one skill, right? Before this skill, you know, effect runs off. And so if you can actually increase your power and you can actually, you know, have these skills, then it will do the trick. But for chasers, This skill alone is not enough to get you to top speed, and you need to combine this skill with high power. And if you have like high enough power in this skill, or if you have this skill and another skill, so does Gold? Who has that skill? Ghost Ship doesn't. Yeah, Ghost Ship has it. It's like this skill here. This skill increases your acceleration if you go past somebody. So if Limit and Shadow you can actually go past somebody, then this skill will actually proc immediately, and this skill actually lasts a significant period of time. So with the combination of these two, chasers could actually get to top speed fast, and because they're chasers, they have the highest top speed among all the characters. Chasers have the highest top speed. The second highest top speed is betweeners. The third highest is leaders. You see the direction this is going. The last top speed is runners, and Onige have the slowest top speed. So chasers dominated in the long races in the very first year in which it came out, and so people didn't complain about chasers. But now that they've actually fixed betweeners from year 2 to year 3, it's now clear that, and they've been working on leaders all this time, it's now clear that chasers are the weakest, and so it's time that chasers get fixed. So at this point in time, I think it's the characters that need to be fixed. Like characters like Meguro Ryan, for example. I feel bad because Meguro Ryan has this skill, which is designed for betweeners, and Killer Toon, which is a skill designed for runners and leaders. And it's like, the hell are you doing? It's like, what's the point? I mean, you can't do that kind of crap. People said the same thing about Pearl, right? This skill was a skill for short distance, and this skill was a skill for mile, and so it's like, well, would you want to run her? She's designed to run both, but she's going to be weak in one or the other. And then with the Evo skills, they finally fixed that, and with the Evo skills, this can run both short and mile, and this can run both short and mile, and now suddenly Seeking the Pearl shines. They could have done the same. Right? They could have done the same with Ryan, but they didn't bother. Like, this is just for leaders, this is just for chasers, betweeners, and this is still just for, runners and leaders in the Major Ryan Evo skills. So I was like, you could do it. Why aren't you doing it? And now what they're doing is things like this, where so they initially gimped Oguri because they gave recovery skills to Oguri, and this initially was this, and people were like, why the hell do you need recovery skills for Oguri if Oguri is going to run mile? The recovery skills were only useful if you run medium or long distances, but now with the Evo skills they fixed it so that when you run Oguri as a miler, and she dominated the mile, right? This skill is no longer just to increase health recovery. This skill is now initially this skill is basically a speed skill. So you increase speed, and there's like a little bonus component that increases your recovery. So hopefully, with characters like this, the second set, there will be a second Evo version, and that will fix that. And same with this, like there will be an Evo version of this, and this will be fixed, but they didn't fix this. They can't fix that with Evo, so I don't know what you're gonna do about that. So there you go. All right. Anyway, enough. I've talked enough. Now 20 minutes now. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy. Bye bye.